Michelle, you make some very good points, and so do many members of the audience here that have spoken. I want to give you a little bit of my background. My mother was living in Czechoslovakia in September of 1939 when Hitler came in. And they said, oh, well, the Jews have to wear this yellow star, but that's all we're doing. Well, it went from there to she worked for a boss that was Jewish, and the Gestapo came and drug him out of the office and made him wash cars. And then he came back a couple days later, and then they drug him out again. Nobody ever saw him again. Her best friend from first grade, and my mom was about 20 then, just disappeared. She went over to see her friend at her house, different family living in there, same throw rug, but everybody knew not to ask. So I'm very concerned about civil rights because things tend to creep along. It gets worse, a little bit worse, and a little bit worse. So I think it's important that we really work hard to safeguard everybody's rights. Our immigrant community is very much a part of the fabric of our society, and I don't want to tear out that fabric. So I think that cooperating with ICE for criminals only, nobody else, is reasonable, because many times these criminals prey upon other people in their own immigrant community. It's been happening for 200 years. However, I do not want to see children drug out of a church or children drug out of school. And I think the people in the audience made very good points regarding our police and the trust that they have to have with the immigrant community. If something happens, a murder or a rape, and someone is undocumented, they're going to be scared to death to come forward as a witness. So what happens? The crime goes up. And that's what the criminals know. They say, I can get away with all these horrible things because everybody is afraid they'll be deported. So I think that's bad policy. The other thing is that the immigrant community, they are an integral part of our economic system. There's a reason the people are over here, and 99% of them just want to provide for their families and work, and they work hard. So I think this resolution needs to be adjusted with perhaps just one sentence, and that is the police will cooperate only with ICE when there is an actual convicted criminal, because nobody wants criminals in the population. However, the person that's working in some factory in El Cajon or working at a fast food place or a cook, they're not hurting anybody. They actually contribute to society, and a lot of them have employee identification numbers, so they pay into the system, into the Social Security system. Right now, the United States doesn't have a 2.1 birth rate. We're actually going down in birth rate. We need, for the success of the Social Security system, to have more people coming in. And I believe the vast majority of those people are honest, hard-working people that make this a better place. So there, I just want to, I've been on the city council for 22 years, and I have something, and I've never quoted a Bible verse before, but I'm going to do it today. Deuteronomy 10:19, you shall also love the stranger, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt. And I really thrive in the diversity of El Cajon because we have 70 different ethnic groups, and we all get along right now remarkably well. And within 5-minute drive of my house, I can have the best Mexican food, the best Thai food, the best Vietnamese food, and all sorts of things, other Afghan food. I like that a lot. And a lot of those people, they come here and they work 12 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week, and they're doing a lot of jobs a lot of the Americans that have been here for a long time don't want to do. I mean, they pick, 70% of our crops. Who's going to pick our crops? You know, there are a lot of landscapers. They're always looking for work. So I think that we need an adjustment to this that says only people convicted of crimes, they're the only ones that we cooperate with ICE on. And I think that's reasonable and a reasonable accommodation. I don't know how my other council members that haven't spoken, I don't know how they think, but I think, that's a compromise that I can live with. Because I don't want the people to be in fear all the time like my mom was. Well, show your papers. Oh, you got the Jewish star. Well, we're going to pick you up and send you to a concentration camp and murder you. We never know how far something goes when it always starts with a small group of people. Like they say, well, first they came, for the Jewish people and then for the Catholics and then, and pretty soon, and I didn't speak up, and pretty soon they come for me and there's no one left to speak up. So if I'm going to err, I'm going to err on the side of civil rights. I mean, that's what our country is based on. That's why we became a country. So, I would suggest to my colleagues that we just add that simple sentence in there, so people aren't in their apartment worried about the police hauling them away just for the fact that they're undocumented, or their kids from a Boy Scout meeting, or for anything, or from church. I don't want the people living here in fear, because my mom went through that. That's all I have to say.
Phil or Steve, did you want to speak?